with Wiregrass Daily News, and I'm here this morning with Mr. Evan Ash, who is with SEACT, the Southeast Alabama Acting
Community Theater.
Community Theater. I always try to get that acronym right, but it's such a long one.
It is.
Anyway, so Evan, you are here this morning with the theater company, and we're talking about the perfect whodunit for the Christmas season. What's the name of it again?
It's called The Games Afoot.
The Games Afoot.
Yes, exactly.
And your character is Mr.
William Gillette, who is at the time a Broadway star who is starring in a play that he wrote about Sherlock Holmes, hence the name.
Yeah.
And then so he has his cast over for a holiday party. This is taking place in about 1936.
Mm-hmm.
They come over for a holiday party, but somewhere over the course of this evening, someone gets murdered.
Oh my gosh.
And no one knows exactly who did it. And so the rest of the show is trying to figure out who has done this thing. And there's all kinds of twists and witty banter, but also a lot of slapstick and surprises. And it's a lot of show that I was, even reading through it the first time, I was overwhelmed with how much cool stuff was going on in there. So it's going to be a very exciting show.
You know what this show reminds me of, and forgive me if I shouldn't say this, but it reminds me a lot of Clue.
That is a very common comparison. It is very much in that vein. There's even a little hint of some Scooby-Doo in there too.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, very fun, which is a weird thing to say for a murder mystery, but this one in particular, I think, is going to be very, very good.
Well, if you think about the slapstick comedy, that's kind of twinkled in there a little bit.
Exactly right.
So how many people are on stage? How big is the crew, or how big is the cast?
So there are 8 people in total, and most of them are the cast from the show that my character has put on. And then there's also the mother plus 1 or 2 others that show up later on.
Well, I know that one of our Digio Strategies members here is directing the play.
She is indeed, Lee Strickland. Yeah, so she is at the helm. She's pushing it through. It's going to be very good. It's been a lot of fun working with her.
So I was telling you before we started rolling here, my first play that I participated in, not on stage, but behind the scenes, was Bright Star. And I can't tell you how fun and exciting and what an experience that was to be a part of that production. So what's it like being a part of this one?
It's a smaller crew, or a smaller cast, excuse me, which sort of makes it a bit more intimate as far as that goes. But it is very technically involved, which is surprising for this kind of show. So with something like Bright Star, I'm pretty familiar with some of the special effects that took place because my dad actually made. Yeah. So was
he the puppeteer?
So he wasn't the puppeteer, but he made the thing. Yeah. So he built that. And he's built special effects things for decades now. But there's much more much more crew than you would expect for such a small cast for this, because the set itself is involved, and there's some very interesting things that happen with it, which I will not spoil. But
Please don't spoil it.
Absolutely not. I wouldn't dream of it. It's a lot of fun though, and there's a lot going on, a lot more than you might expect for such a small group of actors.
That's so cool. So when is the opening night?
So it opens on December 11th. That's next Thursday, and it runs Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The show will start at 7, and you can get tickets at SEACT.com, or you can call SEACT at 334-794-0400.
And for people who don't know where the SEACT, or I forget the name of the building.
It is the Cultural Arts Center.
Arts Center. How could I forget that?
Yeah, over on St. Andrews Street.
Yeah. Down on South St. Andrews.
Mm-hmm.
You can't miss it. It's the big building. It's an old school, right?
It is. Yeah. It used to be an elementary school.
Wow. Yeah. And I love that building. It's so beautiful. Whenever I was there, I wanted not Miss Sylvia. Gosh, she's in charge of props usually. And
Elaine?
Miss Elaine. She was going to give me a tour of the whole place, because I was like, gosh, I did not realize how big this place was.
It's very big.
You've only when you're going there to see a play, you only see the auditorium. Really, you don't see the side of the stage, or any of that, or what's in the back there. But
yeah, there's a lot of prop storage stuff for the community that's done back there. A lot of arts and development. There's dance classes and arts and crafts classes and all kinds of stuff. I know Providence has a couple of classrooms that they have reserved for their theater stuff. There's a side dining hall where we just this past fall put on The Birds, which you may or may not have seen. That it was one night only.
I heard of it, but I didn't get to see it.
That one was very exciting.
One of our other Digio Strategies people, he did get to see it, and he said it was fantastic.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm a bit biased because my wife did direct it, but it was a lot of fun. And so it's nice having a smaller space to do things like that. I'm bumping your microphone.
You're okay.
A small space to do things like that, whereas you have the larger main central area for bigger plays like the games afoot.
Yeah. So what's been your favorite part of the games afoot so far?
It's really hard to say because there's a lot of things that I have never done before on stage. I think one of the things that I've enjoyed a lot is the research.
Mm-hmm.
So it turns out William Gillette, real guy. Okay. He actually existed.
Well, I was gonna ask, did he invent the razors?
He did not, but he is the best a man can get. No, he did in fact write a play about William Shakespeare. Sorry, about Sherlock Holmes. Yeah. And he was the face of Sherlock Holmes for many in the late 19th century into the early 20th century. He ended up dying in about 1937, I want to say, in his 80s. So there's some adjustment of time as far as the play goes, because it does take place in 1936. But he actually did all these things, and in fact, he did build a no-kidding castle on the shore of a river in Connecticut, and it is still there. It's a state park. You can go and visit it. I plan to at some point because it is very cool. He's a super interesting guy. He built a small railroad on his castle. There's hidden rooms and all the different every cool. Lock is a different puzzle lock that he designed himself.
Very interesting guy.
Yeah, totally Googleable. I encourage it. Just watch some videos. There's documentaries about him. The Wikipedia page is worth a scroll.
So do some homework before coming to see the show.
You don't necessarily have to,
it's not mandatory. But
not mandatory at all. No, it is interesting to. It gives a little background. You can kind of catch. Oh yeah, there's that thing. There's a couple of little callbacks from the play that he wrote in the 1800s that take place in the show that we're doing, and so it's been a lot of fun for me. Because I'm weird like that. I like to research things. And so digging into the past, a lot of these things and how it's the same, how it's different. So it's new and unique playing a person who actually lived. Helpful if I can't figure out what a motivation is. I just see what the real guy did.
Yeah.
But also trying to change things where I can or not where I don't want to or what have you. And then the other thing is just learning so gosh darn much Shakespeare. I quote Shakespeare a lot. And so if you're a fan of Shakespeare, you're going to hear a lot of things that you've heard before. And yeah, it's just a lot. You get Richard III, Henry V, I'm blanking on a lot of the other shows now. Much Ado, As You Like It. Yeah, there's this there are lines and Tempest is in there, I think, in a couple of places. So there's lines from all these different shows that you may or may not have heard of or seen. You don't have to, but if you hear me start saying words that don't seem to make much sense, then that's okay. They're probably from Shakespeare, and it's not vital to the plot. Just know that, boy, William Gillette loves him some Shakespeare.
I love it. I love it. So I'm going in totally blind to watch this show just because that's just who I am. I like to be surprised, But because it is set in the 30s, what I'm looking forward to most is the costumes. Obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, it is meant to be a decadent people in a decadent era.
Fantastic.
That is for sure. Yeah, so that's going to be the goal.
This is going to be a really fun show. I can already tell.
It really is.
So tell me again, what is the opening night? What are the dates and time?
Yes, absolutely. So it will open on Thursday, December 11th, and the show starts at 7:00. It'll run Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So that's the 11th, 12th, and 13th of December. And again, you can get tickets at SEACT.com, or you can give them a call at 794-0400.
Evan, thank you so much for coming by today and letting everyone know about this really fun show that's coming up. I'm really excited to see it. I cannot wait. And go get your tickets because you want to see it too. Thanks, Evan.
Yeah.